checking in now to Ingalls. Gonna get unloaded and head on down to Charlotte. Look at this truck in the mirror here. Yeah, that is a beautiful Peterbilt. I love that. That's nice. Really nice. So yeah, just gotta check in here at the guard shack. I have a door. Just gotta come up here and find out what my door assignment is. My turn. Alright, let's go check in. So I got my door assignment. I'm going to door 243, and they even give me a little nifty little visitor sticker. Get to put on my shirt. That way I'm allowed inside. Let's see here. Door 6279. Yes. All right. I don't know how long it'll take to unload me, but we'll see. Right next to me. Nice. Alright, let's go get checked in and maybe go back to bed while they unload. Later. It's been one of those days, I'm telling you. One of those days where you just... seems like things are just going against you, you know. I watched I watched a video of by Ike Stephens today. It was a live feed. I caught the recorded side of it, and he made a good point. He was talking about lumpers. Holy cow, man, my mind just went just gone. God, it's been a long day. But he was also saying how, you know, lumpers, you pay somebody an exorbitant amount of money to unload your truck, and you expect them to do it in a timely manner. Well, you know, I said, you know, I got my schedule was screwed up apparently because, you know, people got appointment times mixed up, PM and AM, and I was there when I was told to be there, but the person who told me to be there at that time was mistaken, supposedly. She thought she had heard PM also. So anyways, I had to wait till the next day to get unloaded. And as I was getting unloaded, I got in there first thing when they opened. It was at Ingalls in Black Mountain, North Carolina. I got into a door. They opened at 3. They put me in a door just a shade before 4. Now, something else we didn't know about was that this place had a lumper fee. And this isn't the load we normally do. my boss said she was just doing this company a favor to run this load down. I don't know if their normal driver or their normal company, if the driver from that company that normally does it, which I'm going to guess is probably the former company I used to work at, Continental Express. I don't know if maybe something happened and they couldn't get it down there on time. I don't know, but that's arbitrary. She didn't know anything about the run, and she didn't get the details. Well, my company is a little tiny company that I work with, and we don't even have an EFS account or a ComData account. So all we use is a credit card, a company credit card, and cash. That's it. So I back up to the door, I walk inside there, and they said, okay, well, it's going to be this much for a lumper. And I said, well, there should be an account, I would imagine, because we weren't told anything about a lumper. So I said, are you sure Dana doesn't have an account? And somebody said, nope, Dana doesn't have an account. It's going to be, they said it's going to be a lumper. And they couldn't tell you how much the lumper is going to be until after it's completely unloaded and broken down and everything. So I said, okay. And I said, let me know what it's going to be. And so anyways, I go and go out to the truck, go back to bed in a door there, by this time it was about 4:15. I woke up at around 9 o'clock. It was sunny, and I thought, holy crap, they're probably done with me. I probably missed the phone call. I look up out the driver's window, and the light was still red. And I looked at my pressure, my air pressure, for my drives, to see if it looked like they had taken any weight off, and it was still up to around 55, which when you're backed into a door, that means they may have taken a couple of skids off, and that was it. And the 4.5 hours I was in a door. So I made some breakfast, texted the wife good morning, and waited around a little bit more. Well, they didn't call me until 11:30. So I was in that door for 7.5 hours. I don't know if they were trying to punish me, because to them I was late, even though I was early for the time I was told to be there. See, dock workers can be assholes. They can look at you like, oh, well, he was supposed to be here at this time before, so there's no reason to rush it. Well, guess what, sons of bitches? I'm paying. Well, they called me and said, well, it's going to be, $300 for the load. Well, luckily enough, I was carrying around quite a bit of cash with me, but I didn't want to pay $300, so I just brought in $290, and I said, here you go. And they said, okay, that works. So I just gave them $290. But if I hadn't had that cash on me, I never carry cash on me in the truck, not to that extent, then it would have been a bad day. Because like I said, we don't have an EFS check account, we don't have ComData account, so it could have been pretty bad. And the frustrating part is just how long these places take to get you unloaded. And people talk about how it's going to or how the electronic log mandate, the ELD mandate, how that's going to affect dock times and things like that, because with electronic logs, they take that long, and if you're on the clock, then guess what? You're out of time now. You're not leaving that dock. Technically you can go on personal conveyance, but that's frowned upon as much as possible. So a lot, so this is kind of a way with the electronic logs. It's kind of a way to put some to light a flame under these lumpers' asses. And lumpers are they're just an unnecessary third party anyway. Really, it's just a way. It's just a way for these warehouses to hire somebody or to have somebody. They don't pay for the lumper. It's to have somebody unload the trucks without having to worry about paying for health insurance and things things of that nature. And so these third parties come in and pretend they're doing the truck driver a favor so they can go out and sleep. It's just not. It's just unnecessary. So, I get done there. I run up to Charlotte, get loaded. I just got up here to my consignee, which is Aldi's in Springfield, Ohio. Got a load of, I want to say Mr. Pip, but some kind of a off-brand soda like that. Get up here, and I have been up here before early like this. I got a 5 a.m. appointment, and they got it's a huge parking lot, okay? And it's not all used up. Last time I was there, when I got there early, they said, okay, and it was like this, middle of the night, kind of early, they weren't even open. Guard shack just said, okay, just go ahead and park the truck over here. We got you signed in. We'll call you when you got a door. So I did. I just parked over along the curb, and I was golden. Tonight, they kicked me off the property. And, luckily there's a Love's right across the interstate from there. But I was lucky to find a spot in the Love's. And if there wasn't a spot in the Love's, I would have had to have driven about, 25, 30 miles in either direction to get to a truck stop. So it would have been a 60-mile round trip, essentially. Wasted fuel, wasted time, all because they don't want you on their property. And I feel like that's something that needs to change, too, when these ELDs come into effect, because for one, these truck stops are going to be, there's not going to be spots with these ELDs. People are all going to be taking their breaks. It's going to be chaos. And then, so when you try to save some time, rather, I was going to say shave time off, but when you're trying to save some time and go straight to the consignee and take your break there, but then you get there and they don't let you, especially if they have in the past, because then you expect it. You expect them to let you. And you get there and they kick you off the property. Well, guess what? Now you're wasting a whole bunch of time that you may not even have legally. And then you go to the truck stop, and then, I have to be there in 4 hours from now. Is when I have to unload. Well, if I had to go to the truck stop, I would have had to start my 10-hour. If I was on electronic logs, that means I couldn't have left that truck stop until my 10 hours were up, which would mean I would be 6 hours late for the delivery. But then guess what, though? If I'm 6 hours late for the delivery, it's my ass. How is that remotely fair? It isn't. And that's what I feel like, and I've been hearing Ike, talk about it quite a bit. That's what I feel like needs to change. Is a lot of that stuff needs to change. When you're late to a receiver or a shipper, sometimes they make you pay physically with cash. They make you pay because you're late. I've been to places before where if you're more than 30 minutes late, it's a $500 fine. Yeah, a fine, because you're late And you may have had nothing to do with the fact that you're late. It might be the shipper's fault that you're late, or traffic, or, the shipper, it could just be the shipper. The shipper didn't leave you enough of a window. Then maybe the shipper took 4 or 5 hours to load you, and then did not leave you with enough of a window to account for bad traffic and weather and stopping for the go to the bathroom and all that kinds of stuff. So, you get there and you got a fine to pay. Well, guess what? When you get there early, like I did tonight, and I got kicked off the property because I was early. I wasn't a day early. I was a few hours early, and I got kicked off the property. And then if you get there early, and then you check in early, and places that will allow you to stay on the property, you then, sometimes they may not put you in a door until 3 or 4 hours after your appointment time, even though you were there on time. You were there early. We can't sue them. Why can't we sue them for being late when we're plenty early and they don't get to us in time? That costs us money. Even company drivers, it costs us money because we can lose out on a run. We can lose out on a good run. If you're a company driver and you get paid per mile, you could lose a whole day of running. If you're an owner-operator, you can lose, a couple $1,000s because you miss out on a good load. But they're not held accountable. You might be able to get some detention pay, but it pales in comparison. So what do you do? Well, hopefully enough people will start talking about it. I think Ike started a pretty good little movement there. Hopefully. It started in Zello, and I'll try to link Ike's video, if it's still up, in my description area, so you can see what I'm talking about. He was, he got somewhere early, and several hours early, and they didn't get to him until several hours after his appointment time. But somehow that's acceptable. That's cost me home time before. There's been times where I'm heading home after that, or I'm supposed to head home after that, and because they take so long to get me into a door and unloaded, I end up not going home. And that means more to me than the money lost, is home time lost because of their incompetence. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and get off here and get a few hours of sleep. God forbid I'm a few minutes late back to Aldi's, even though I checked in. So guys, you have a good rest of your night. Be safe. And hey, we'll talk at you later.